Oliver Anthony celebrated the 1-year anniversary since the release of his breakout single, Richmond North of Richmond. After the video was uploaded to the Radio WV YouTube channel, the views skyrocketed, connecting with fans around the world. To date, it's garnered a whopping 150 million views. I'll never forget getting to see him perform the song for the first time at a small farmer's market in North Carolina, where fans had gathered and packed in that property to see him play the song. It was an amazing experience. And he's opening up about what his next steps are in his career. He says he's just getting started. He has a lot of new songs in the works. He also opened up about the chaotic state of the world currently. And now he has plans to help veterans struggling with PTSD, people battling with addiction. He's got some really cool ideas there as well. Here's more. With the breakout success of Richmond North of Richmond, Oliver Anthony made music history. He became the first songwriter to debut at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 with no prior chart history in any form. He's also the first male songwriter to chart 13 songs simultaneously in the top 50 digital song sales. And he did all of this as an independent artist on his own terms. He turned down multi-million-dollar record deals and fought to keep his shows affordable for his fans. And now, he's thanking those fans for changing his life, revealing he never has to work again, though he's just getting started in his music career.
By the Lord's will, you guys have really, truly changed my life forever. I never have to work again for the rest of my life. If I deleted all my social media accounts and I just wrote songs and uploaded them and I hid out here in the woods for the rest of my life, just the interest off the money I've made already would at least buy my groceries and keep my family comfortable, and that means a lot to me. That is the only financial goal I had, was just to be financially free. To not owe anything to a bank or to another man. To just have my land and a house with a roof that doesn't leak. And a place that I can grow a garden and raise a few cows and sheep and be alive. And try to live my life the way my grandparents lived their lives.
He also spoke about the concerning direction this world is headed in.
I despise this world, and I despise the way this world's headed. And I want to be out here, away from it. And so first and foremost, thank you. I thought about what I wanted to do now, because I don't really have to do anything at all. But the second that thought entered my mind, the one immediately after was that I am in debt. I'm in debt to you. You and I have built a relationship out of trust. You have counted on me to represent you, to try to be maybe one of the few normal voices that you have in this wicked world where everything is about control and power and manipulation. It's about keeping you distracted and angry and stupid. And I know that if you're watching this, you most likely despise this world just as much as I do. And I cannot just delete all my stuff and run away now.
Later, he spoke about going through a hurricane as a kid and seeing how fragile society was, seeing people fighting over gas at the fuel pumps after a couple days without power.
This hurricane reminded me when I was a kid. I can't remember which hurricane it was. It might have been Hurricane Isabel. We had a bad one that came through in like 2003 or 2004 through Virginia, and it was 2 days of the power being out. And I remember we went by the gas station to try to get gasoline for a generator, and there was literally people out fist fighting over a gas pump. Line wrapped all the way around the building. And I realized then that as a kid, or as probably a young teenager at that point, that our society is that fragile that we can go 2 days without gasoline and people are willing to fist fight at the pump over it. Imagine if you don't get groceries for a week, or if the power grid goes down for any period of time. And it's hard to have a conversation about that without sounding so conspiratorial or so like, oh, it's the endo days and the lizard people are coming and all that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying The system is already so fragile, and now it's so expensive, and the food is so bad for you. And our public education system is such an embarrassment. It is a predetermined lesson plan on some Chromebook that is sent to whatever teacher, and there's really no teachers truly teaching anymore. It's like everything in our country sucks. And I think we've lost our pride in our country. We've lost our pride in our traditions. People don't grow gardens anymore. They don't raise their own animals. People don't really do anything for themselves anymore. Everything's just a phone call away. It's just an Instacart or an Uber ride or an Angie's List away.
He also shared a cool idea about helping veterans with PTSD and those struggling with addiction reconnect with nature.
And so I've taken the money that I've made from Richmond and I've started buying properties in West Virginia. I've bought some abandoned farms in Virginia that I'm in the process of revitalizing, and I plan to turn these farms into places that people can go and learn how to can food, can learn how to raise animals. People who have just gotten out of rehab, vets with PTSD, people who are depressed and suicidal, they can come here and get reconnected with nature. They can learn how to exist outside of a system that's been sort of placed on us as a generation. And I hope that we can start going back to the old way. I don't think there's any current option that moves us forward that does not detriment all of us on a global level. And I would love to see this community of people who believe in this, the people here in the States, my friends in Europe who are being spit on.
And as for his next steps, he's only getting started. He revealed he has at least 12 songs written for his next release.
I've got at least 12 songs that I could stick on an album, and that I will stick on another album. It's always something in this crazy world that I'm living in now. It's good to just be back here and be able to breathe a little bit and be able to figure out what my purpose in all this is. And so moving into next year, I'm going to do these 12 shows in addition to all the other regular ones we do in towns that have not had music in them in a long time, in towns and in cities and counties that are in a financial deficit, that are in a population deficit. My goal is to bring positive economic impact to rural parts of this country that desperately need it, where tradition still exists, where normal people still live. We need to bring our small towns back. And so I'm going to start with 12 shows next year that are completely independent of Ticketmaster or Live Nation or an amphitheater or a theater or a stadium. We're just going to go set up a 4-wall event somewhere, maybe on a main street, maybe in an old factory parking lot. We're going to have local vendors there. We're going to have local musicians opening the show. It is going to be a community event. It's not going to be an Oliver Anthony music show. I want to start doing things that make a difference.
It's clear that he's grateful for all the success that he's had, and he's got some great ideas. We're looking forward to that new Oliver Anthony music as well. You can see all of his upcoming tour dates on the screen and get tickets at oliveranthonymusic.com. That's your latest update here from CountryCast. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button with notifications on for the latest news and updates.